Hey guys, let's get more news about Dallas, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Hall of Fame QB compares Lamar Jackson, Ravens to legendary offense. Putting up 40-plus points on the road against a capable defense in primetime left a Hall of Fame quarterback comparing Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens to one of the NFL's all-time great offenses. Troy Aikman was one member of the famed triplets who helped the Dallas Cowboys win 3 Super Bowls in 4 years during the 1990s. Aikman believes the Ravens share something in common with that Cowboys offense, after watching Jackson and company eviscerate the Tampa Bay Buccaneers during a 41-31 win on Monday Night Football in Week 7. Speaking on the broadcast for ESPN, Hat Tip Ravens Vault co-host Bobby Trossett, Aikman explained how the Ravens are talking about how they've got answers no matter what the defense does to them. That's how we felt in Dallas all those years with Emmitt Smith running the ball and Michael Irvin and Jay Novacek out there catching the ball. That's what they have in Baltimore, and that's what every team strives for. Troy Aikman on Lamar Jackson and the Ravens, they're talking about how they've got answers no matter what the defense does to them. That's how we felt in Dallas all those years with Emmitt Smith running the ball and Michael Irvin and Jay Novacek out there catching the ball. That's lofty praise, but the Ravens merit plaudits after amassing 508 yards at Raymond James Stadium. The impressive, but increasingly routine output, was powered by Baltimore's own triplets. Aikman's reference to the triplets and the rest of those high-powered Cowboys offenses is apt after Jackson threw for 5 touchdown passes, Derrick Henry rushed for 169 yards and Rashad Bateman snagged 4 catches for 121. Add in 2 touchdown grabs by resurgent All-Pro tight end Mark Andrews, and the Ravens pretty much did whatever they wanted to the Bucs. No player better summed up this flexibility than Jackson. The 2-time league MVP continued his ownership of the NFC by shredding every facet of Tampa Bay's defense. Jackson dissected zone coverage, finishing 14 of 16 for 256 yards and 3 TDs against zone coverage, according to Next Gen Stats. Lamar Jackson consistently found open receivers against the Bucs' zone-heavy defense, finishing 14 of 16 for 256 yards and 3 TDs against zone coverage. Jackson's receivers averaged 5.3 yards of separation per target, the most separation in a game this season. Unlocking the Bucs' zone shells was made possible by Jackson's accuracy, but also the work of his increasingly impressive cast of receivers. Bateman, Andrews, Zay Flowers, Nelson Agholor and Isaiah Likely all freely found and exploited holes in the zones. Unable to cover in space, the Buccaneers attempted to pressure Jackson, but to no avail. ESPN analyst Benjamin Solak cited Next Gen Stats to show number 8 was blitzed on 61.5% of his dropbacks tonight, per at Next Gen Stats charting. Third highest rate for a Lamar game, regular or postseason. Versus the blitz, 11 for 15, 166 yards, 3 TD, 148.9 passer rating. For years, the Ravens leaned on rugged defense to stay competitive in the AFC, but this season's 5-game winning streak has been powered almost exclusively by a loaded offense. It's a group averaging 31.1 points and 469.6 yards per game, according to ESPN. Those numbers are possible because Jackson has everything he needs to help him succeed. If he wants to work outside the numbers, Jackson can target Bateman. The latter is finally showing signs of being the coverage-beating burner the Ravens hoped they were getting with the 27th overall pick in the 2021 NFL Draft. Michael Strahan fires warning to NFL legend after outburst during Fox broadcast. Michael Strahan seemed to be at his wits' end with Terry Bradshaw during their Fox NFL Sunday segment. The panel was deep in analysis of the latest NFL updates, turning particular attention to the Week 6 clash featuring the Detroit Lions versus the Dallas Cowboys. Championing the talents of defensive star Aiden Hutchinson, Strahan initiated the conversation by hailing him as one of the biggest difference makers on the field. He praised Hutchinson, noting, After the bye week, Hutchinson is still leading the league in sacks with 6.5. And the quarterback pressures, but was abruptly interrupted by Bradshaw, who, referencing an earlier offbeat moment, blurted out, "I did the song already." Pressure. Bradshaw had earlier unexpectedly belted out Queen's classic Under Pressure while analyzing the Patriots' surprising decision to bench seasoned player Jacoby Brissett in favor of rookie talent Drake May. Solidly backing Brissett, Bradshaw added, "That's a horrible offensive line. The one keyword there is pressure." Freddie Mercury of Queen, remember the song? Pressure. Coming down, you will remember the tune? Drake May will be under pressure. This is a bad move. Bradshaw's serenading skills didn't impress his pals, with Strahan quickly chiming in to discourage any encores. "Please don't do that. Please don't do that again," he cautioned Bradshaw, hinting at potential legal fallout for mangling the melody. Howie Long couldn't help but ridicule Bradshaw's dismal serenade. "Freddie Mercury's rolling over, in his grave," he quipped, prompting laughter from the group. Just as Strahan predicted, the Lions trounced the Cowboys on their own field, snagging an emphatic 47-9 victory. However, the triumph was marred by sorrow when Aidan Hutchinson suffered a third-quarter injury, forcing him to leave the match. In a valiant effort to tackle the Cowboys' Dak Prescott, Hutchinson found himself in a painful clash with fellow Lion Alum McNeil. Lying contorted in pain on the ground, Hutchinson faced a grim diagnosis, a fractured tibia, abruptly ending his season and sending him into surgery. Micah Parsons' injury update provided by Mike McCarthy after bye week. The Dallas Cowboys defense was ravaged by injuries throughout the first 6 weeks of the season, so there was hope the bye week would allow some players to come out healthy. One of the players Cowboys Nation has been waiting for news on is star edge rusher Micah Parsons, who was injured in a win over the New York Giants. Parsons has been fighting to get back onto the field, and there was some hope he could return immediately after the team's bye week. While we aren't sure if that will be the case, there is some optimism. Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy was asked about Parsons' progress, and while his answer was brief, it showed some hope that Parsons could return against the San Francisco 49ers. "He's doing good. Micah is making progress," McCarthy said. "Not only does Parsons bring some much-needed talent and production to the defense, he brings leadership that the Cowboys desperately lack. So, getting Parsons back on the field should make everyone on the field better. We will have to continue monitoring Parsons' status throughout the week of practice and hope that he will be available when the Cowboys take the field in primetime against the 49ers on Sunday Night Football at Levi's Stadium." And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Micah Parsons? Leave your opinion in the comments.